Good morning everyone. Good morning po sa ating mga HR specialists, sa ating mga HRMOs from the different divisions. Good morning din po sa ating mga kasamahan po dito sa Regional Office. Good morning and welcome to our second day of the training. And I'm very happy and I'm very thankful that I was invited here to talk about on something very important. Um, it's actually a very delightful topic, and I'm thankful to Sir Casiano Perdigones and Ma'am Mary Ann Banyas for joining the Human Resource Development Division and the NAIP and the region to join this kind of training. And I know that this could really help in delivering quality services to our clients. So, by the way, I'm Jeremy Atad. I am an education program specialist of the Human Resource Development Division. Specifically, I am assigned to the NAIP and the region. And yes, I'll be talking about the frontline customer service, which is a short course in TESDA. But today we're gonna have the basics of this short course. And yeah, I'm excited to actually share to you this this topic. I know that all of you are already familiar with the customer service, but it's just some kind of a refreshing uh, activity. All right. So, by the way, if we take a look at the training regulations of the customer service and test that customer service services NC2, this qualification consists of competencies that a person must possess to be able to conduct the process of offering products and services to customers and assisting them in making a purchase in various retail store settings such as department stores, specialty stores, hypermarkets, supermarkets, fast food outlets, and other service providers. So there are a lot of topics in customer service. Usually, this should be taken up in a month or 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 maybe like two to 3 weeks. But for this session, I tweaked the the presentation, and I make it a point that I'm gonna be finishing this short course or run through on the customer service for an hour. All right, so the qualifications for customer service are actually composed of basic competencies, common competencies, core competencies, and there are some electives. So we're going to be focusing on important topics that are relevant to our context as educators, as employees of the Department of Education. All right, and just so you know that the basic competencies are composed of these skills: participate in workplace communication, work in team environment, practice professionalism. And of course, under the common competencies, we have to develop industry knowledge. I know that we have been doing all of these things, but we're just gonna walk through on this so that we will be reminded of some behaviors or some strategies that could also improve our delivery of service. All right, so just a heads up, I am a National TV Trainer Certificate holder. I was conferred at the TESDA Regional Office 5. Yes, I have qualifications on travel services. I have qualifications on customer service, front office, and events management services. So I have been training together with my team since 2018. So we've been training a lot of DepEd personnel also. We have been invited to train partnership people from the central office, and we have been also invited to train a lot of DepEd personnel here in the Bicol region. And there are already a lot of educators who are conferred with events management services qualifications and TESDA and customer service qualification. So at some point, these experiences are actually opportunities for us to share also the updated industry protocols. And of course, this is also part of our advocacy in interfacing um, in interfacing in the learning and development, that service providers should not only come from our agency. We could also learn from a lot of external learning service providers, and one of those external learning service provider that we have in terms of skills is the TESDA. All right. So, what's the good thing about being certified with TESDA is that they have this online verification. I mean, uh, you cannot just this qualification, you cannot just simply get it without having mastered the skill. So that's basically the the good thing about being certified or being conferred with TESDA. And they have this online registration. You can simply search on my name if you want to look at if you want to look up and check my credibility. Registry of trainers with National TV Trainer Certificate. I just type in my name in their website, and then it appears that I have qualification and events management services. I have a TM certificate or trainers methodology certificate, and I also have an NTTC certificate. So those things are actually needed for you to deliver skills. Skills qualification like this one, like customer service. But what I'm gonna share to you today is not just all about the customer service based on the training regulations of TESDA, but we're also gonna be dealing with the customer service in our context as educators. And of course, I'm gonna share to you some experiences that I have during my stint when I was in college. I also worked at HP Contact Support as a customer care specialist, and I was also a sales agent at Sony Electronics Corporation. So I have this diverse experience when it comes to customer service, and I know those experiences are somehow relevant to dealing with clients here in the Department of Education, and I'm very excited to share it to you because some other scenarios, some other what do you call this? Some other aspects that I have learned in those industries are also similar to what we are experiencing in the Department of Education. And alam ko marami sa atin dyan ang nakaka-encounter din ng different kind of customers or different kinds of clients. And yeah, we have our own ways on how to master or how to provide customer experience and establish our brand along the way. All right, so let's proceed. As I have mentioned, that we're going to be covering only a portion from the training regulations. So our learning objective for this session will be demonstrate customer service in different situations using appropriate behaviors to meet expectations in the prevailing context. So after this session, I believe, or I am expecting that every one of us, especially our HR specialists, our HR officers, will demonstrate customer service in different situations, especially in our prevailing context. So, yung context natin ngayon, there's a lot of challenges in our context. Um, we have what we call the digital migration. Ang bilis naka-migrate ng ating mga customers, ang bilis maka-migrate ng ating systems and policies. So we're gonna look into that on how we can insert or how we can deliver customer service in the prevailing context of the Department of Education. All right. So, by the way, customer service, what's in it for me? Bakit kailangan ko ito? I know that you have learned a lot since yesterday. Napakaraming mga inputs nakita ko sa ating training matrix that we have been learning a lot of topics. Those are refreshing topics that make us master our job as human resource officers. So I would like to encourage you to actually uh, take a look back on what you have learned yesterday, and take a look ahead on what you will be learning in the next days, because customer service is always intuitive. Customer service is holistic. Customer service will not be possible. We cannot provide best customer experience if we do not learn the basics of our job. So customer service we can build our brand. As I have mentioned that mastering customer service, you'll be dealing with customer care. You might be what do you call this? Mastering the skills of sales, and also it includes back office support and technical support. So ang daming companies ngayon, especially companies that provide uh, products and services on gadgets, on technologies, even in foods, even in almost all organizations and businesses right now, they have what they call the customer care department because we want to build our brand. Hindi maganda ang isang company o isang organization na walang customer care or nang hindi tayo nakaka-reach for some concerns, suggestions, or complaints. So, dapat laging merong customer care. So, ganun din po dapat sa Department of Education. It's not only in private sectors, it's not only in electronics company that they have na dapat magkaroon ng customer care. Even in the Department of Education, we should establish customer care. And of course, if you deal with customer, there's what we call back office support. When the term back office support is usually being used by electronics company, when you say back office support, yung pong nakabenta na, how do we provide services to those clients na provide na natin ng kanilang nabentahan na natin ng ating products. So of course, there is what we call back office support. So if they need some kind of troubleshooting, we could provide technical support or technical assistance on how they are going to replace damaged parts of their products and services. So that's what we call back office support and technical support. So all of these things are part of customer service, and we're looking at it on how we can integrate this customer service skills into the Department of Education. Kasi ah, hindi lang tayo dapat focus on what's written in our functions. So dapat we extend our services into some kind of accommodation na matutuwa sa atin ng ating mga clients, both internal and external clients. So again, customer service, we build our brand. Sa pamamagitan ng customer service, nakikilala yung ating brand. So ano ba ang meron? Ano bang meron sa brand ng DepEd? So nakita nyo dito sa logo, merong McDonald's, merong Mang Inasal, merong Jollibee. Bago ma-accept po ang matanggap ang kanilang mga employees or yung kanilang mga applicants kapag ka nag-a-apply, they're looking at it na makita nila yung behavior ng kanilang applicants on how they respond to the clients, to the different scenarios, to the different kind of clients they will be encountering in a day-to-day operation. So that's part also of building the brand. That's why kilala ang McDonald's, ang Mang Inasal, and Jollibee because they also master the customer service skills for their employees. All right? So who are customers? So ano nga ba ang customers or clients dito sa context ng Department of Education? So we have this what we call the internal and external customers. Customers are people who need our assistance. They are not an interruption to our jobs. They are the reason why we have jobs. So basically, sa atin po, sa mga non-teaching personnel who are assigned in the division, who are assigned in the region, we have internal and external customers. Yung internal customers siguro yung mga kasama natin dito sa work, kasama natin dito sa workplace that also need our assistance, that also need the customer service, na gusto rin nilang ma-feel nila that they are being valued. So yun po ang definition ng ating internal customer. How about external customers? So external customers are actually our clients or our customers na we also provide services to them, but they are not part of within the vicinity of our workplace. So it could be the schools, sa regional office, it could be the division personnel. So ito po, they are not an interruption to our job. So, hindi sila distorbo sa ating trabaho. That's why every time na may magwo-walk-in sa atin ng mga clients, we prioritize those who are already in the office. Okay, so communicating effectively with customers. What describes good service and bad service? Good customer service is taking that extra step to help without being asked. So it's all about attitude and skills. So napakaraming scenario na pwede nating masite kung saan pwede tayong makasingit, kung saan pwedeng mag-integrate yung good customer service. So sabi dito, it's taking that extra step to help without being asked. So hindi na tayo kailangang pagsabihan pa ng ating mga superior to do this if we have a client na naghihintay. So basically, we can promptly provide service or we can promptly respond to our clients. All right. So when we talk about a positive organizational image, first impressions count and will affect the interaction. People make judgments in the first 30 seconds. So the golden rule, customer is king. You only have one chance to make a first impression. So ayan, pag unang kita pa lang natin sa ating mga client, kung nakita na tayo nakasimangot na, of course, yung ating client ay matatakot na tayong i-approach. So, that's part also of establishing our brand. 'Di ba? Ang hindi naman maganda na magkaroon tayo ng feedback na yung mga tao diyan sa division na 'yan, yung mga tao diyan sa regional office na 'yan ay nakasimangot. Unang ano ka pa lang, unang salubong magi-greet ka pa lang ng good morning ay nakasimangot na. So, we have to also consider kung tayo ang nasa shoes ng ating mga clients. All right, so let's talk about planning good customer service. So, of course, we have to bear in our minds the recording procedures. When are your busy times, the reporting procedures, or the meeting of the organization for the funding and the legislative requirements. We also have to observe and report customer needs and be proactive in improving service. We also have to market our organization, and we have a process and procedures for dealing with difficult situations before they happen, and make sure our staff are actually trained. All right, so alam ko that this is just a review. I know that you are also doing a lot of planning conferences or planning activities or coordination meetings kung paano yung pag-improve ng mga services. I know that in every office meron kayong mga process manuals of the different services that we offer. And of course, we also have to market the organization. So paano ba natin mina-market ang ating organization? Right now, usong-uso na ngayon ang actually, it has been a requirement na meron na tayong social media presence. Nakita naman natin halos lahat ng divisions and even the regional office has already embraced the social media presence kasi it's actually it has a wider reach of establishing audience. Mas malawak na ngayon ang naaabot na audience ng ating social media presence. So that's very important in marketing our organization. That's why minsan kapag pag may hiring, mas mabilis pa nating nalalaman through Facebook or through social media accounts. And that's very good. So we commend those offices, especially our HRMOs who are posting the vacancies online. At least nalalaman ng buong region or ng buong division that we are hiring on this. All right, so how about the service standards? How can you contribute to the development and maintenance of service standards in your organization? So, i-review natin yung ating mga process manuals at ang ating mga policies. If those are still contributing to the development and maintenance of the service standards or of the services in our organization. Right now po, nung nagka-pandemic, napakalaki ng challenge. There is restriction in face-to-face and in walk-in visits. So nagkaroon po nagkaroon po ba ng changes sa ating mga policies at sa ating service standards? So, paano po tayo nagre-respond sa ating mga clients, especially nung nagkaroon ng pandemic na wala silang chance to visit our office personally. So, we have to look into that. Read and understand your organization's policies and procedures on different services. So, um, it's very important. I would like to commend all of the offices, especially in the regional office kapag may bagong hire ay talagang dumadaan sa new employee orientation. So talagang ini-introduce sa trabaho and then ini-explain, dinidiscuss kung ano yung magiging roles and functions based on uh, the existing policies na meron for specific position in the office. So kailangan naiintindihan ng mga personnel ang ating organization's policies and procedures on the different services so that kapag may magtanong sa atin ng mga clients natin, we are knowledgeable in responding to them, and we also have to bear in mind na hindi lahat ng tanong ng ating mga clients ay nabibigyan natin ng kasagutan. And that's why it's very important that we have to read and understand our organization's policy, because it also tells us our limitation as employees. So kung hanggang saan lang ang pwede nating i-provide sa ating mga client, and we set that expectation. Yung natutunan ko siguro when I was working in contact center for Sony Electronics, we don't make promises to our clients. All right, so it's very important that we do not make any promises, because we cannot, most of the time we could not make our promises. So yun lang, we could set the expectations of our clients, as to signatures, as to time frame, pero hindi tayo pwede mag-promise na gagawin natin agad-agad yung kanilang mga requests or yung kanilang mga concerns. All right, because there is also a limitation on what we can do. So it's very important that we have to understand our organization's policy on the different services that we offer. And of course, we have to be prompt and efficient. So sabi nga natin, hindi lahat ng tanong, hindi lahat ng concerns ay nare-respond natin. But we have to be prompt also. Dapat if we can tell directly, if we can tell within the day yung result, so that hindi na maghintay or hindi na mag-consume ng sobrang time para sa ating mga client, we have to observe that na maging prompt tayo and efficient. Ensure also the services are delivered in accordance with legislative or statutory requirements. We have the Citizens Charter and Process Manual. And I know na marami na tayong idea about this. The Citizens Charter is already mandated in the ARTA law. So, kailangan na po lahat ng government organization natin. Customer experience is no longer a strategy, a business strategy now. It's already mandated by the law na pagandahin natin ang ating mga serbisyo. That's why Citizens Charter is very important. Tingnan natin sa office natin, meron po ba tayong Citizens Charter? At kung meron tayong Citizens Charter, we make it a point that we do not violate all of the time frame or processes na ginawa natin or nilagay natin doon, because we are the one who crafted the Citizens Charter. So we should not be violating our own processes. So parang ganun din sa process manual. Kung ano yung nakalagay sa ating process manual, kung it's like 3 days kailangan mag-respond na tayo sa mga request, we have to do it, because our clients are actually knowledgeable today that there is what we call customer experience in the government organizations na kailangan pinapabilis na ngayon, because there is an effort from the administration to streamline services. So wala nang matagal na proseso dapat, unless it needs further evaluation and assessment. So kailangan nasusunod po ang ating Citizens Charter, because if not, that can be a reason for our clients, for our customers to file any action against us. So hindi naman natin gugustuhin na tayo mismo ang lumabag ng sarili nating citizens charter na tayo mismo ang gumawa. All right? And also, we have to maintain accurate records. So, paano ba yung record management natin sa office natin? So, as much as possible, we have not only we have to maintain accurate records, we also have to observe the data privacy. So, yun, very important din na kailangan tandaan natin itong mga service standards na nakalagay. And then, ensure any special needs of customers are taken into account. So, may mga special needs po yung ating mga customers and clients. And the government organizations like Department of Education is not exempted to provide these special needs or privileges to those who are actually listed in who are actually identified by the law, like for example, the senior citizens. So we still provide special needs to those who are entitled to it by the law. So like yung mga PWDs, yung mga pregnant women. So we have to ensure that all of these things are taken into account. So dapat ino-observe pa rin po natin. Alright, so ano naman ang magiging rewards ng ating excellent customer service? Of course, number one, increased customer loyalty. Ayan, yung mga client natin, babalik-balikan yung division office kasi talagang ang sarap makipag-usap sa mga tao sa division office na ito or sa office na ito, specifically sa personnel section, ang sarap makipag-usap. So there's an increased customer loyalty. And then positive word of mouth promotion. So yun nga, we can establish branding because all of the clients are already talking positive about the office. And then happier customers or happier clients. Masaya ang ating mga kliyente when we provide resolutions to their concerns, and then more productive and happier employees. Sabi nga natin, ang ating clients ay hindi lamang nanggagaling lahat sa labas. We also have clients inside, and we become more productive, and our employees become more happier to work in a government na meron pong magandang customer service in all of its internal clients. So, 'di ba? May mga clients tayo dito sa loob na nangangailangan din ng services dito sa loob mismo. So we provide the best or excellent customer service so that hindi tayo magkakaroon ng organizational issues. And then, smoother working operations. So, napaka-smooth lang ng working operations natin kapag maganda ang ating customer service. Ayan, those are the rewards for excellent customer service. And I know na marami sa ating mga offices ang maganda ang feedback from our clients. Okay, so ang customer service po, it includes effective communication skills. So hindi lang dahil magaling ka mag-English, we can already provide customer service. So ang effective communication skills, napakalawak po ng communication skills. So there is what we call na meron pa rin, nagmamatter pa rin yung body language, nagmamatter pa rin yung silence, nagmamatter yung checking for understanding, your smiling face, summarizing what has been said, encouragement to continue, some questions, eye contact, and visible mouth. So ito, ang body language is very important kasi kahit na hindi natin sabihin, nararamdaman ng ating clients. And then silence, minsan kailangan nating makinig. Kailangan makinig, especially kapag irate yung ating customers or irate yung ating clients, nagrereklamo yung ating clients dahil hindi maganda ang serbisyong kanyang na-receive. So, makinig muna tayo, pakinggan natin ang ating clients. And then, let's check for understanding kung nagkakaintindihan ba tayo, kung tama ba, kung nandito ba siya sa tamang lugar, to raise a concern. And then, a smiling face, it's very important kasi doon pa lang na-set mo na yung mode. And then, summarizing what has been said. After all ng discussions nyo ng clients nyo, kung nagkasagutan kayo, kung nag-negotiate kayo, it's very important to summarize what has been said. It's very important na i-summarize mo yung kung ano yung pinanggalingan, kung ano yung context ang pinanggalingan so that ma-realize ng ating client that they are being listened to, na pinakinggan talaga natin ang kanilang concern. And then, encouragement to continue. encouragement to continue working with us, to continue trusting us. And then eye contact and visible mouth. So yun, it's very important din na magkaroon tayo ng contact para may pakialam talaga tayo sa sinasabi ng ating clients or customers. Alright, so ano naman ang kailangan na kailangang attitude natin? So there's an attitude checklist. These are just recommendations or suggestions. So what attitude assists in providing good service? So of course, kapag nag-enjoy tayo na nakatulong tayo ng tao, enjoy helping people, so that's a very good attitude. We handle people well, we care for our customers, we give fair and equal treatment to all, and be understanding of people with special needs. So let's be fair and equal treatment to all na uh, sa mga clients natin without special needs. Fair lang tayo kung sino yung nauna, kung sino yung unang sinubmit sa atin for respond for appropriate action. So yun ang munang unahin natin unless they belong to people with special needs, so they really need to be acted promptly. Alright, so ano naman yung mga skills, mga supplementary skills na kailangan natin para ma-develop, mas lalong ma-develop yung customer service. Of course, very, very important, as nabanggit natin kanina na kailangan alamin natin kung ano yung trabaho natin. It's very important that we know about our organization. So, dapat alam natin kung ano yung organization natin like the DepEd Regional Office, ano yung division mo sa DepEd Regional Office, or ano yung nasaan group ka sa division office, so you know about your organization, because when we know our organization, we can provide um, accurate information to our clients. Alam din natin yung ating limitations, kung hanggang saan lang ang maipoprovide nating assistance or service sa ating client. Learn the technical parts of the job. It's very important na natulungan natin lalo na yung mga bagong hires, like yung mga bagong tanggap lang sa atin. Let's orient them well with the job para naman alam din nila ang isasagot nila sa mga clients na nagtatanong sa kanila. Most of the time, we are being asked by a lot of questions. So, kung hindi natin masasagot, that affects the branding. Kasi dapat trabaho ito ng human resource, of course, ng personal section to make sure na yung mga new entrants natin, yung mga newbies, yung mga new employees natin ay dumadaan talaga ng orientation on the technical parts of the job. That's why when I work actually in Sony Corporation, I actually have a nesting for 1 month. That's a nesting. That's actually a probationary period in which I was trained to learn everything about my job, all of the technical side of my function as a sales agent and a customer care. So, yun, isang buwan talaga akong training. Every day nag-aaral to learn the basics, to learn the technologies na gagamitin, to learn how to respond. So lahat-lahat 'yon talaga ay binigay sa akin. So I hope also in the Department of Education, I know that we have been doing this. We could somehow intensify ang ating new employee orientation. I know that we have been doing this as part of our function in the personal section and the human resource, but maybe we could somehow intensify the orientation. So it's not only yung pinaka function mo sa specific division or sa specific office, but also we have to learn the technical parts of the job, kung ano yung mga technologies na kailangan nating matutunan. Although you have been hired already because may nakita sa yung skills for that, but still you have to be introduced to a lot of equipment na meron doon sa office na magagamit mo in the fulfillment or in the realization of your job. And then communicate well. Kailangan marunong tayo mag-communicate. It's not only na dapat ay magaling tayo mag-English, but communicate well is that we are able to listen, we are able to respond to the client. So dapat marunong tayo mag-communicate, and we also know how to do the written communication, both written and oral communication. Kasi ngayon ay across all platforms, pwede na tayong i-reach out ng ating mga clients. And of course, you have to be consistent. You have to be organized and know your place in the team and be a team player. Ayan. So, importante rin kung naalam natin kung ano yung ating place doon sa team na kinabibilangan natin. And just be a team player. Not all the time that you have to argue with everybody in the team. It's a business, and you cannot do the jobs alone. You need everybody. You need everybody in the organization. So, and we harmonize with each other. Yung ka-teammate mo na medyo hindi masyadong skilled sa technology, you can provide assistance. In the same manner, kung mas magaling naman sila sa communication, they can also provide you with assistance. So we harmonize with each other. So that's being a team player. All right, here are some simple tips on how to greet our customers effectively. The purpose is to create and maintain a welcoming environment. So how can we achieve this? Paano natin may paramdam sa ating mga customers that they are very much welcome in our office? Of course, you have to be attentive and acknowledge a person as soon as they appear, even if you're busy. So siguro naman nakaka-encounter din kayo ng mga ganito. Sa mall, sa any kind of stall, any kind of offices na pag nag-appear ka sa isang office, parang merong isang personnel ng organization na parang walang nakikita. So it's not good to feel that way, na parang awkward sa atin na parang hindi tayo nakikita ng personnel or in charge doon sa office. So as much as possible, let's be attentive, and we also have to acknowledge a person as soon as they appear, kasi of course kaya pumunta sa atin ang client because they need our help. And then it's very important to smile. Ayan, ito ay advocacy ng ating regional director to always smile, kasi kahit na busy tayo, kahit punong-puno tayo ng mga paperworks, we have to display a smile to our clients, kasi part pa rin siya ng branding. And then establish eye contact. So kailangan kapag kausap natin ang tao, we have to look in the person. So importante talaga na merong eye contact para maiparamdam natin sa clients or sa customer that they are worthy of our attention. And then tell them your name. So it's important also to introduce your name, kasi para naman may address ka properly ng kausap natin. And then ask how you can help and give the customer your full attention and be polite and courteous. These are all very basic, but sometimes nakakalimutan natin. So let's be reminded of these things, na it's important to tell our name. And of course, kung tatanungin natin kung anong maitutulong natin, so that malaman natin kung how we could start in providing services. All right, so let's find out how you can help. How can you find out what people want? If you can't help, what should you do? Offer alternatives if possible. If they have to wait, how would you handle it? So these are some scenarios na pwedeng ma-encounter natin in the office. So case-to-case basis, there are some issues or concerns na hindi natin masasagot, and we have to offer alternatives, like pwede kitang samahan doon sa tamang tao o sa tamang office, so if that possible. And if they have to wait, how would you handle it? Kung it's very urgent and our clients is actually waiting, we could somehow escalate or elevate the concern to the next level of support, na pwedeng mag-decide on specific matters, kasi meron din namang mga urgent request na only our superiors can decide, and then we could actually do that. Alright, so lagi nating tatandaan that communication is a two-way process. So, lagi talagang it involves listening to others, and it's asserting, or it also involves asserting or expressing. So, laging it's a two-way process. Lagi nating papakinggan so that tayo rin ay maiintindihan ng ating client. So, it's a two-way process between the sender and the receiver. Of course, between the two of them, there are barriers. So, ano kaya ang tinatawag na communication equation? So, what you hear is very important. That's 40% of the message. So, yan ay naririnig natin ang tone of voice. So, galit ba yung ating kausap or masaya bang ating kausap? Of course, we can also hear the vocal clarity and the verbal expressiveness. It's very important. Kahit po sa cellphone, kahit sa telepono, we can really hear this tone of voice, and we can also identify verbal expressiveness. So nakikita natin kapag galit yung kausap natin kahit na nasa telepono sila o kahit nasa cellphone sila. That's 40% of the message. So we have to be very, very careful of that, na kailangan yung ating verbal expressiveness ay nandun pa rin yung ating willingness to help kahit na medyo bombarded na tayo with so many concerns. And then what you see or feel, of course, yung facial expression is very important. Yung dress and grooming, yung body language, yung eye contact, even yung touch and yung gesture. So that's 50% of the message. Nakikita natin at nararamdaman natin. That's 50% of the message. And the words are only 10% of the message. So it's important yung what you hear, what you see or feel, kesa doon sa words na binibitawan natin. So, yun, tandaan po natin itong communication equation. Alright, so kanina nabanggit natin that the communication is two-way. Of course, even if it's dahil two-way siya, merong barriers in between to effective communication. So, example of that is the noise. Kung sobrang maingay, of course, that's a barrier to effective communication. There are some distractions and put downs. Of course, there is also what we call lack of interest. So, parang hindi tayo interesado sa concern ng ating client. So, that can also be a barrier to effective communication. Disability is also a barrier to effective communication. Discomfort with the topic. There are some topics or there are some concerns na medyo discomforting sa atin. And then distance is also a barrier to effective communication kapag medyo malayo yung kausap, lalo na ngayon, lalo na nung pandemic na merong mga shields, may mga dividers, so talagang andun yun, barrier din sa effective communication. And then too many questions. So kapag sobrang daming tanong ng ating clients, minsan di na natin naintindihan what really is the concern. And then other people. And of course, the time is also a barrier to an effective communication, and the language. So, as much as possible, magkakaiba kasi yung mga languages dito sa Bicol. So, ako nga po ay taga Masbate, and I find it so hard to understand the languages here in mainland. So, yun, kaya nagtatagalog na lang ako sa office. So, yun, language is very important. Magkakaiba po ang language natin dito sa Masbate. So, how do we address this language barrier? So, sana ano natin din, i-consider natin itong language na i-prioritize natin kapag may mga clients tayo, kapag medyo hindi tayo naiintindihan, we can feel that magtagalog na tayo, or also we can also use the English. Alright, so ano naman ang mga tips on how to listen to customers? Of course, active listening is very important. That's a tending skill. So, kailangan lagi tayong ready makinig. Although, nakaharap tayo lagi sa computer, still kapag meron tayong client, we have to show that we are an active listener. Attend to immediate needs. If you need to finish something before giving your full attention, finish it, so that you can attend to immediate needs. And then being available, so dapat kapag may mga walk-in clients tayo or kapag may mga urgent tayong mga concerns, we have to be available. Ito, may eye contact ulit, and then attentive posture and concentration. So dapat lagi tayong itong mga tips na to ay very simple tips, and we're doing it already. These are just reminders, para ma-refresh naman tayo ng konti. So, ano po yung ito ay isa sa ay mga list ng mga scenarios using your voice. So, checklist lang natin, parang ano lang, check lang natin parang self-analysis lang natin. Do you become loud when angry or upset? Yung voice natin, loud ba kung angry tayo or upset? Meron din kasi mga tao na kapag galit sila or bad trip sila ay they keep on silent. And then, do you speak faster when nervous? So, malalaman mo yan kung mabilis ka magsalita kapag ninenervyos ka, 'di ba? There are some instances, kapag pinasalita na tayo sa gitna, ang bilis-bilis nating magsalita. So, ikaw rin ba ay nakakaramdam ng ganun? When I was doing my training in the trainer's methodology, ang bilis-bilis ko rin magsalita kapag ako ay kinakabahan. So, yun, most of the people out there ay ganun din yata, na pag masyadong kinakabahan ay sobrang bilis magsalita kasi gusto nang matapos yung moment na nasa stage or nasa microphone tayo. And then, do you speak slowly when tired or bored? So, the self-check lang natin. Do you have a cheerful voice? Oh, there are some people gifted talaga with cheerful voice. Kahit galit sila, parang masaya pa rin kausap. My tone of voice is warm and understanding. So meron namang mga super sweet na mga colleagues natin. Find it easy to talk to people you don't know. So ikaw ba ay isa sa mga very few that find it easy to talk to people you don't know? So may mga taong ganon. And then, do you control your tone in most situations? Do you sound bossy, weak, or unsure? Do you have a clear and easy to hear voice? Do you speak in a very formal or very trendy manner? Think about how you might modify your voice in certain situations. So, ito self-analysis natin. Tingnan natin, or take a look, take a self-check with ourselves kung paano ba tayo when it comes to using our voices. So, yun. So, and then, we try to think about how we might modify in certain situations. Kasi kailangan din nating mag-modify, especially itong mga scenarios like when you're angry or upset, kailangan ba na lagi kang mataas yung boses? So, we can also modify. And then what body language for a positive result? Brainstorm some examples of good body language. Actually, dapat magbe-brainstorm yung mga participants on this. But since we are on virtual platform, so hindi na tayo magbe-brainstorm. We're just gonna do some self-checking on this. So smile, introduce yourself if appropriate, or wear a name badge, shake hands if appropriate, lean forward, and be aware of cultural differences. Ayan, so dapat lagi tayong aware sa cultural differences. Baka mamaya dyan ay pinagkikwentuhan na natin yung kasama natin kasi may kasama tayo, may clients tayo or customer tayo sa office na pumasok at sobrang tapang ng amoy, because there are some people in other cultures that they don't use deodorant. So yun, I've encountered that when I was in college. Meron kaming teacher na talagang sinabi niya sa amin that part of her culture is yun, hindi sila gumagamit ng deodorant, not even tawas. So, kaya medyo matapang. And then for the presentation and manner, does your organization have a policy on presentation? Sa DepEd naman hindi naman tayo masyadong mahigpit when it comes to the presentation and manner, but we have to observe some professional etiquettes. Of course, yung uniform natin, we have a prescribed uniform. If we are not on prescribed uniform, we could just be in business professional or business casual. So do we have policies on uniforms and badges? Do we have policy on personal hygiene? Actually, it's more like on personal etiquette, and then clothing appropriate to the situation. When it comes to hair and cleanliness and style, accessories, jewelry, earrings, watches, and tattoos. So I believe that for the DepEd personnel, we are discouraged to have this tattoos because it might not be a good image for the DepEd personnel. Um, but I don't want to 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 appear antagonist for those who have already tattoos. Some other people are trying to defend it. It's an expression of art, but yeah, it depends on your organization if it's actually um, accepted or culturally accepted. But in the context of the Department of Education, as much as possible, we try to build a professional image. And for expression, facial expressions, it depends on the situation, the tone of voice, the body language, and the surroundings. Can they see a messy desk? Yon. So, tingnan din natin yung ating offices kung ano ang situation ng ating office, kung medyo tambak-tambak na ba ng papers, or do we need some kind of declogging or 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 management or housekeeping sa ating mga offices. That's also part of presentation and manner para naman maganda din yung brand. Para paglabas ng baka naman makita ng ating mga clients na hindi masyadong organized ang ating mga filing, ang ating mga records. So that's 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 a minus score in our branding. All right, so let's have a quick walkthrough on the telephone skills. Kasi ito importante din na may observe natin, kasi nga we provide services now across all platforms. Hindi na lang walk-in clients ang meron tayo. We also have clients over the phone. We have also clients through email, and we also have clients in social media. So we have to be holistic in our approach in customer service. Ayan, so we have to know how to use the phone. Of course, that's very basic na kailangan alam natin kung paano gamitin yung ating mga mobile phones. Speak clearly and slowly. Smile, you can hear it in your voice. State your name and organization. It's very important na i-state mo yung name mo and organization. Write down the caller's name and use it. Don't say rude things while someone's on hold. If they're explaining something, use words to show you're listening, like and yes. So it's like telling the people on the other line na nandyan ka pa rin kahit na patuloy siya sa pagsasalita o pagkikwento ng kanyang concerns. And then have pad and pencil ready to take notes or messages, check spelling and message content. Don't eat or drink while on the phone. So of course, it's very basic naman na hindi dapat kapag may kausap tayo over the phone, huwag tayong kumain or uminom. Alright? Okay, how about on the written communication? I know that you have already a session on the DepEd Manual of Style with Ma'am Mayfloor. And yeah, for the written communication in DepEd, we follow the DepEd Service Manual. But just a tip on a general note, we have to write clearly and concisely. Refer to the letter, date, and query. So lagi nating tandaan yung date at saka yung concern ng ating clients. Be friendly without being too informal. Dear Aunt writing style. Check your spelling and grammar. Make sure you've answered the query or request, or explained why you can't, and be timely or apologize for any delay in replying. Ayan, check your spelling and grammar. Although yung Word document natin, it has already a grammar check, I would also recommend that you install a pre version of Grammarly. It's helping, it's helping us most of the time, kasi hindi naman natin i- even yung mga professionals, even yung mga English major, even yung mga communications major, they also need to do some checking under grammar construct under grammar and sentence construction. So yes, we can actually install it para para magkaroon tayo ng mga suggestions kasi Grammarly performs well in when it's installed in your gadget. So yun. All right. So a positive first impression, of course, kung gusto nating mag-establish ng magandang first impression, we have to be confident. And for us to be confident, we have to be knowledgeable, we have to know our organization and the services you provide. So hanggang saan lang po ang pwedeng i-provide ng ating company, or hanggang saan lang ang pwede mong i-provide. If you cannot provide something, and if that thing is not within your scope, so you can already refer that to the next level of support, or you can refer that to the right people. All right? Confidentiality is also very, very, very important. So lagi nating tatandaan itong confidentiality. Huwag nating ipamalita or there are some things na uh, kailangan confidential. And then follow up. Don't just say you'll do something, do it. All right? Most of the time ito yung laging gasgas na linya ng mga customer care, na they'll do the follow up, and then it gets our clients more irate because parang sinasabi lang natin ito to console our clients, but we're not doing anything. So as much as possible, we just don't say it, but we'll do it. All right. And we also have to strengthen the customer's commitment to our organization. Kapag magandang impression sa atin ng ating customers, of course, hindi lang commitment ng ating customer ang may ensure natin, and they will also, that's a promotion on the move, na hindi na kailangan nating i-promote yung ating organization because the customers are already promoting it on their own. Okay, so ano naman yung mga kailangan nating iwasan? Of course, saying I don't know without offering an option. So that's why it's very important na knowledgeable tayo sa buong system ng Department of Education. Para naman kahit na hindi natin masagot yung concern ng ating clients, we could at least provide the right person or the details, or the details of an office na kailangan na yun ang tamang office na makakapagbigay sa kanya ng tulong. So we don't just say right away na hindi ko alam that you've come to the wrong place. So that's walang lugar ang customer service kapag ganun. Saying you don't know where a colleague is, or saying they're at lunch, toilet, gone per office, etc. So bawal din yun na sabihin natin na hindi natin alam yung colleague natin. So as much as possible ay sabihin natin kung they're attending a specific or a very important concern relative to the job, and they could not attend you right now. Leaving people on hold for a long time. So ito para doon sa may mga telephone lines or sa mga kausap natin, wag nating i-hold yung ating mga customers. I know that you have been experiencing this sa ating mga cellphone provider, sa mga mobile providers natin. Kapag may concerns tayo, kapag may mga reklamo tayo sa ating mga network providers at hino-hold tayo, syempre galit tayo, di ba? Kapag hindi agad-agad tayong nai-attend. So the same feeling, our clients feel the same way too. Ignoring people if you're busy. So kahit busy tayo sa office, we try to, as much as possible, act promptly to what is being asked, especially if urgent yung concern ng ating client. And then treating people unequally. So dapat equal lang ating treatment. Not unless doon sa mga taong sinasabi natin kanina na may special needs. Of course, there are some factors affecting the quality of service: reliability, confidence, responsiveness, efficiency, consistency, organization, and acceptance of and adherence to policies and procedures. Customers with special needs, people for whom English is not their first language. People with disabilities, people from other areas who may not be familiar with the way things are done here, people with limited mobility, and unaccompanied children. So ito yung mga customers natin na may special needs. Let's exert some, let's put some extra effort on providing assistance on these people with special needs. Not only may mga clients tayo na may special needs, not only itong mga listed dito uh, for humanitarian reason, but of course there are actually law that backs them up. All right, so how do we deal with difficult behavior? Label the behavior, not the customer. So we also have to listen and don't get defensive. So wag tayo masyadong defensive. Let's listen to the concern. Don't take it personally. Everything is part of the organization's processes. It's part of the organization system. So don't take it personally. Find out what the customer wants, discuss alternatives, and take responsibility for what you can do. Agree on action. Ayan, this is how to deal with difficult behavior. All right, so have you encountered a talkative customer? Ask close questions. Limit the time available for them to interrupt. Don't have long pauses. Provide minimal response. Smile and be pleasant, but don't encourage them. Wind up, thank them for coming, walk them to the door, but don't be rude or dismissive. Alright, so kung meron tayong talkative customer, pwede mo siyang samahan, walk them to the door, but don't be rude na parang pinapaalis mo na yung ating talkative customer. We can just provide minimal response kasi hindi ka rin naman makakasingit sa ating customer pag meron tayong maka-encounter na customer na ganito. All right, how about the angry customer? Of course, you have to listen carefully without interrupting so you understand the problem. Pag galit ng ating customer, hayaan lang natin muna mag-subside ang kanyang galit and let's wait and let's listen na matapos niya ang kanyang concern. And of course, you have to empathize, stay calm and remain polite. Don't escalate the problem. Don't take it personally. Be defensive or blame others. Propose an action plan and follow it. Seek support if you are scared, if you can agree on a solution, or if the customer asks to see whoever's in charge. Okay, so the know-it-all customer, ayan, ito may mga clients tayo na pagpunta pa lang ng clients natin, mas may alam pa sa atin. Parang alam niya na lahat ng pasikot-sikot dito sa atin. So acknowledge what they say and compliment them on the research kasi may mga tao talagang knowledgeable in the different processes and policies of the organization. And be generous with praise. Okay lang, purihin lang natin yung ating mga customer na know-it-all. Don't put them in their place no matter how tempting. And don't try to be smart kasi we can't win. Ask them questions and use them to improve your knowledge. Ayan. Meron talaga tayong mga customers na halos alam na yung mga pasikot-sikot. And then, yeah, let's just be generous with praise. How about the indecisive customer? Find out what they really want. Ano ba talaga ang concern ng ating client? Ask them for the options, reflect back to them what they've said, assume control gently, and point out the best course of action from what they've told you they need. Be logical, confirm a plan of action with them, and maybe even put it in writing. Of course, kasi makapahamak tayo kapag hindi nasa writing, lalo na kapag indecisive talaga ang ating customer. How about this one, the suspicious customer? You have to establish your credibility. You have to ensure that you know your product or service. They will try and catch you out, so don't guess or tell them something you're not sure of. Be careful what you say, be polite, and don't take it personally. They don't trust anyone. So meron talagang ganitong mga customer na malaki ang pagdududa sa kapwa. Ayan. So we have to establish our credibility. Okay, so actually we have this for the on-site training. In pairs, one person takes on the role of a customer and one is the customer service help desk. use your own scenario. If you have one, swap after 5 minutes. That we're gonna do it. We can't do it because we're virtual, but we're looking forward. We're gonna be in Masbate province. I will be running a session together with Sir Francisco Bulalakaw from the CLMD. Will be in Masbate province for the frontline customer service training for their non-teaching personnel, and I hope you guys and to see you guys there. Um, we have this last year, we have a frontline customer service training from SDO Camarines, and luckily there were a lot of them who got certified with customer service NC2 from TESDA. So I hope that our divisions would also invest on training, on training people, because it's very important that we have these qualifications on our subs so that yeah, we have a certification that backs up our credibility. All right, so I believe malapit na ako matapos sa aking time, so I will leave a very very memorable um, saying from Tom Hopkins: "You are your greatest asset. Put your time, effort, and money into training, grooming, and encouraging your greatest asset." So, ayan. So, let's improve. Let's continue improving ourselves. And customer service is just one of the qualifications that we can that we can actually develop in ourselves. And it's also good that we have to undergo, because there's a lot of topics in the customer service training that you can still learn, that you can master, and so that we can provide the best and exceptional customer experience to our clients. And I'm looking forward that there will be a lot of I'm looking forward that our organization, that the whole DepEd Region 5, that most of our personnel in DepEd Region 5 are actually certified with customer service, and we can be an agency with customer-oriented services. Ayan. So again, thank you so much. The trainings, the topics are actually anchored to the TESDA training regulations for customer service. But if you want to undergo for customer service assessment, the focus on customer service assessment does not only covers the basic competencies. It's actually prioritizes on the core competencies, which involves the sales part. So more or less, na mas maraming skills or competencies ang kailangan i-master doon sa sales part when you want to undergo for customer service NC2 assessment. All right. And of course, I have also a reference, an online reference here from sta.eslington.sch.uk. So some other tips are actually taken from the slide presentation on customer service from this online source. Ayan. All right. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening. And I'm very happy that I have this. I was given this opportunity. Thank you so much, RD Gilbert Sadsad, ARD Ronello Firma, and of course to my chief Sancha Nacion, and to the admin division, Sir Cas and Ma'am Mary Ann Banyas, for initiating this kind of training. And I hope next time it will be face to face, because there's a lot of activities that we can enjoy in customer service. And yeah, thank you so much. And I know it's lunch, and if you have any questions, you can just message me in my social media accounts. I'll be glad to help you if you want to pursue, or if you want to further your knowledge in customer service, on events management services, on different TESDA qualifications. I could somehow help you and share my experiences as a TESDA trainer. Thank you so much, and yes, God bless everyone.